Hey there, Flosstube friends. It's Lana, the Silly Notion Stitcher, and I am here on January 6th, 2024 for my latest Flosstube that is going to talk about my cross-stitch plans, definitely for this month, and we'll just say the winter season. I have haul, I have some finish and through FFOs. One is in the process of being an FFO, so I'm hoping to get that finished today, actually. And lots of whips for the winter season. So I have stopped now stitching for Christmas in particular, but I have left wide open that lets me stitch my glitter village, my snow village, and I feel like I'm forgetting a village, but yeah, so there's still a lot of like winter type goodness that's going to be happening. I'll be showing some of the new starts that I plan to start this weekend. And it's funny, like we all have different theories on what our starts, what qualifies as a start. I like the Steph of Just Keep Stitching. I like her methodology is two lengths, two thread lengths is a solid start. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for. So let's get started. The last time I was here, it was about a month ago, like December 7th, I think, and I was trying to do Flossmas every day. I think I might follow the footsteps and the brilliance of the new Hampshire Stitcher and try for a weekly Flossmas this coming Christmas season. So I have plenty of time to think about that. Today we are having a snowy day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. If you're new here, my name is Lana and I live outside the Reading area, but I am about 40 minutes, 35 minutes to downtown Lancaster. And it's a really great area to live in because you can easily get to a lot of different places. Philadelphia is like about an hour and a half from here, but you can also be very close to rural Pennsylvania. So it's nice that we are having this snowy day today. I'm looking forward to seeing the birds come out later. We have a nice patio in the back where we like to feed the birds and everything. So I'll flip the camera a little bit to show you in a bit what the snow is looking like outside. So here we are. I'm going to jump right in to my Christmas finish. Not fully finished yet. I am still trying to decide how I want to finish this, but this is the Primrose Cottage Stitches pattern release they had in the fall. Christmas trees and stitching please. And I knew that I didn't care for the more prim looking red and greens together, so I thought, well, I do like the combination of red, green, and pink. I like aquas blended in for Christmas stitches, and I had purchased this this is Atomic Ranch Oz color, Lugana. It is 28 count. And I purchased this at the Rebel Stitcher retreat the last week of October in Philadelphia. And I'm like, I'm going to just be bold and do something different. And I really, really like it. I didn't try this out. I'll have to see later. Some of my haul is 2 Mill Hill frames that I purchased. I think it might be a little bit too big. And I'm trying to see, I made some camera adjustments because I thought I might have like a blue screen filter on or something. And one of the adjustments I made the coloring better. So I think the fabric is kind of like about here. So it's really gentle modeling, but really nice that it's got, you know, some movement in there. And then I still have plenty of sections on this to do other things. So that's exciting. I really was proud of myself for sticking with that. I even had a spacing issue with those buttons. I don't know what I was doing. You know, you're watching your program, and it got off, and I did actually rip it out, and it was the middle one, of course, so it was very obvious. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if I did, I sort of think the red is Cupid. I think that's Classic Colorworks, or is it? Yeah, it's Classic Colorworks. The bright, the two pinks in it are DMC, but sorry, I don't have the colors handy. So it's very exciting that that one is finished. I have some FFOs to show you. So behind me is my Glitter Village houses that are finished so far. I do, the way I have it hooked up here, I'm not going to take it down, but you can kind of see it's actually a plastic window frame type thing, and I love these binder clips that it came with, and I found these foam sparkly, sticky snowflakes that I just put over the binder clips. And I hung it up in the hallway the other day, took something down that's more springy, and my mom walked by and she's like, "Oh, that looks so nice." So I was glad that she appreciated that. So the Glitter Village was one of the first things, one of like the first series that I ever saw. Saw it on Fat Quarter Shop in probably 2020, and had no idea. I was brand new to cross stitch and had no idea that, you know, these series were developed, that was a thing. And I do love stitching houses when they're smaller. So I really got into this, and I was like obsessed with, how am I going to finish this? Now, there was a time when I envisioned somebody had finished their hometown holiday series by Little House Needleworks. They have them finished on, I think they're somehow on a dowel stick that sticks into like a wooden candle holder, which I think is brilliant, and it looks awesome. So it sort of looks like a pedestal finish. And I am kind of planning that for my hometown holidays, to do something like that. I'm sort of seeing a part of the ribbon, that one at the bottom. But it's basically just ribbon I pinned in here. I really do like to put batting on, definitely behind my stitching, especially on Ada. And this is the mint green opalescent 14 count. Trying to remember if this was all DMC regular. I think it is the regular. Oh yeah, it is. I got the floss pack from Fat Quarter Shop for this. It was during that Christmas of COVID, the very first Christmas of COVID, when a lot of supplies were hot in demand and you had to grab it while you could. So it was nice that they had a pack like that. And then I needed to find a fabric that would work with the glitter theme, and also, of course, the ribbon has opalescence to it. And I just wanted to show the back again to show that I really did, I think I did polyfill batting back here. I wanted it super puffy. I just think that works well for this. I mean, not that you really see the back, but it's satisfying to me. A little overstuffed. So that was the pink house. I don't remember, like, they usually just have numbers in this series. Glitter House 1, Glitter House 2. Here is the church. I loved doing the stained glass. Very cute. these were definitely not without their little blunders and issues. I'm really hoping that as I'm showing these, I don't find anything new. But I kind of learned along the way, you know what, it's okay to fudge things and, you know, try to make it work. I mean, some of these houses, they are, you know, very symmetrical, so you can really run into trouble, but I made it work. Now, in choosing the opalescent mint green, that meant I did have to change some of the called for colors. So this particular house was supposed to be more of a really tealy color, so more of a teal aqua color, which I loved, but it was not showing up as well on this fabric. So I did a lot of floss choosing, floss tossing. I actually stitched along the edge of the Ada several different colors of purples and blues to make alternate choices. So I really love this house and how this turned out. What I wanted to say, I realized one important thing to note about this one, if you've done this series, these trees were supposed to be white. And I totally love that about this chart. And when I realized pretty much after stitching the green trees that they were supposed to be white, I'm like, oh, I love the white trees. That's part of why I loved this particular one, but I was happy with the green. So that is my glitter village to date. And of course, when I look at what I still need to do, I keep it in this project bag I made. More glittery metallic fabric, even on those little houses. It's kind of hard to see, but it's metallic. I started yet another house, and I have one in progress, so I am getting there. This is my crazy floss, you know, jumble of floss. But isn't it so pretty? Now this color I have, this is I think probably the color I was describing. This is 964. I think I do use it in small pieces, but this is probably what I decided not to go forward with, and added these purples. So if you are stitching this, this is my color adaptation. You won't be seeing those colors normally. This is the floss pack. So those were the colors that are the called for. They just look so nice together. So let me see, I do have a lot to cover in this Flosstube. So this was my start the other night, and that is a few lengths of thread that I did. Let's see if I have. I kind of reorganized my bag so that I'm only working with my working copies and not messing up the actual patterns, because I may be able to destash some of these. So that's what that house is supposed to look like, which I love. Definitely on that more raw linen background. And I will just show you. This is the one that I just showed as a start. So I'm starting this. I was watching the Holdover movie as I was stitching that, and I do recommend it. It's a cute movie with, you know, good feel-good moments, some kind of, you know, sad moments, but it's not overly sad or anything. I am not sure if this one is in progress. This one definitely is. And I messed up those little colored areas above the door, that row running across. Something is messed up in there, and I think that's where I got frustrated and stopped. But I need to just fudge it and it will be fine. And then there's this one. And I love these colors. So I will definitely keep that as is. So that is Glitter Village. So I am definitely working majorly on this one. Just trying to find you. Here we go. Here is this one in progress. This is the one where I kind of have to figure out that plus sign in the middle, and it is what it is. So I'm gonna fill it and move on. All right, so that's Glitter Village. Hopefully you're still hanging in there. I'm kind of like combining, showing my FFOs and my whips on that one. So let me go back to some other FFOs. I've shown these before. This Happy Valentine's Day was the freebie that Cherry Hill Stitchery provided last year, and I wasn't going to go down that rabbit hole, but I did, and it did sort of like consume some of the stitching time that I wanted to really dedicate to more of the things that I'll show you in a moment. But I'm glad that I have it now. This is one of my favorite finishes. Used Lady Dot Creates, I think this is brick color pom-pom that I had on hand. This is definitely Cupid floss, and again, I can't remember if that's Weeks or Classic Colorworks. I think it's Classic Colorworks. I think I used from my stash, I did these hearts differently than the pattern because of my fabric choice. And then I did do some outlining because of the hearts not really showing up the best. Now, over Christmas, I did have this on display in my Santa Claus, like a dough bowl that I had of other FFOs, because I thought, well, the colors sort of lend themselves to, you know, Christmas cards, and loved having it out. And then I made, I took a Michelle Ink class, October of 2022, and I made that teacup, I think is what it is. Yes, I made that out of silver clay. She let us do the molds in class. She let us borrow her molds, use silicone molds, and then she did the kiln firing for us, and shipped the final product to us. And that's just a regular heart charm. I think this fabric, it's definitely 18 count if it's not like a 20 count petite point Ada. All right, and then from the delightful Prairie Schooler button up, and also, is it called Snow Day? I think it's called Snow Day, when Lori Holt opened all of our eyes when she did her Snow Day chart and showed a color conversion. Now, she really just changed some of the greens and the reds. I went and did a totally different, brighter conversion. I did show this last year, but these are now sitting out. I totally love this silver fabric that I found just in my fabric purchases. I did a quilt that uses metallic fabrics. It's sort of like a Christmas wintry quilt, And so many of these I had on hand. This is how I finished the back. This pom-pom I think is from a fabric store that is very close to me, Burkholder Fabric. And I love it because it's a bigger size pom-pom. So I have definitely made some extra purchases of that for my stash. They have some sales that I'm able to go to, and that helps a little bit too. So that is that one, and this tag is showing that it won 3rd prize at the Ephrata Fair. Ephrata's in Lancaster County. And then here's one of the button-up guys on his skis. I used to do cross-country skiing. My dad got us into that. Hello to my fellow skier friends out there. You know who you are. And I was taking a look at this pattern again this morning, and I'm like, oh, I definitely have a wish list for more of these. I have to remember which bag it's in. I have my curling bag that I made the year of the Olympics, the last Winter Olympics. Love this curling fabric. And I have my various pins from some ski trips I took in Vermont and Canada. Still can't believe I did some of the trips and the trails that I did. I really had no business doing that, but you know, where your friends go, you have to follow them. So I'm here to tell the tale. So again, this is button up. And I think the next one on the list is the Snow Angel. The ice skater guy is finished, and he just needs to be sewn together. So that is very close to being the next finish. I do love the snowman down there, and also pulling the tree. So more goodness to be done. And then the small snow day that I did was here. This is what the original looked like. It was just called January. And I really, if you haven't seen the Lori Holt conversion on this, I really recommend you go back to her Flosstube and check that out. That would have been early in the times of her Flosstube channel. Okay, I have this as a near FFO. This is also like a Lori Holt from some of her stitch cards with winter themed items on there. She has a hot cocoa mug, this ice skate, a hat, and I forget what the other one is. When I sewed this together, it's really small. So this was the first time I had done one of these, and probably should have had more of the Ada around the outside. I probably just trimmed it a little bit too small, but it'll be very cute and petite in the bowl. And I'm just going to fill this one with polyfill. I do like using the lizard litter. I like the weight of them, but this will definitely just be a polyfill. So I see I have some batting that is behind the stitching, so that if I would have done the fill, it's not pushing out through the Ada. It's got a little bird on the back, but he's upside down. So that's okay. All right, and then I have another wintry bag here. We are now moving into my whips, my seasonal whips. So this is my skiing bag, another skiing bag. So in that first year of stitching and the first winter, after I saw Glitter Village, I saw Snow Village. So this is in progress, and I didn't love that the original was shown on a gray. We live in what is sometimes called gray PA, that winter can often have like a gray cast to it, and I wanted to liven it up a little bit, so I picked, this is a, oh my gosh, fabric flare. This is a fabric flare Ada that I purchased from Fat Quarter Shop. I think I've read that the Ada that they use is made with rayon, and so it has a very smooth feel to it, and the needle goes through really easily. I am an in-hand stitcher. I do a tiny bit of English paper piecing, and having done that and some hand sewing, when I found out that you could stitch in hand and essentially you're keeping the needle on the top of the fabric, it's like a quilting motion, how hand quilting, especially Amish quilting is done. You keep the needle on the top of the fabric, meaning you are pushing it through all the layers of the fabric and still keeping that needle on the top. You are not pushing it all the way down, pulling your thread all the way down, that you have to go under a hoop or a frame to then pull that thread up. And when I found out that I could do that, I took a class, and our instructor is really a huge quilter primarily. I was like, oh yes, you know, so let me give that a try. And so that is what I do. Now this one, oh, I think this is the snowflakes for sale sign. You are now going to be hearing the scraping already of the plows coming through. We have a private neighborhood and a private road that we own and have to take care of, so we have a service come in, and they've been really good. I'm sure they're eager to be out there playing around. This is, I think this one is finished. This is the hot chocolate stand. Adorable. Now, what I also wanted to say about my snow village is that I wanted to add a little bit more brightness into the colors. And so my colors, I played around with some things, and oh my, this is a lovely little mess here. But we've got some pinks that are incorporated now. I incorporated this bright green. I incorporated this bright blue. I think the called for colors are really just like a dark red, a green similar to this brown, and white. You know, like it's not a lot of colors to it. So I'm hoping that all together as a scene, and I'm going to finish these as separate pieces, that they will have a cute, you know, look and pop to them. Here's a snowball stand. You can see how I loved doing the stands because I kept hopping around. So that is definitely a project I will be focusing on this month in particular. This is one of those whips that I feel is a holdover. The Holdover movie has given me such a theme with my stitchy plans, because I have a lot of whips that are holdovers. And in this movie, you learn that we all have reasons that we might be holdovers in our lives, but that's an okay thing, and it's place for growth. So that's it in a nutshell. You know, I just gave you some deep thoughts. So hoping to really move ahead with that. Jumping into Valentine's Day, I just wanted to show, this is the back of my bag. This is my crazy front of my Valentine's bag that I made very hastily, so it's a little wonky. I'm finding that my project bags always have a little wonkiness to them. I'll show you the one I just made last week. This is the Heart and Hand 2023 Collector's Heart. I really love the bright red in the picture. This is a kit that contains the called for. But I think for me, the linen that's in here, and this is leather bound, Cottage Garden Threads leather bound. When you see it in person, maybe it's more like this. It's just maybe a little too dark for me. I'm kind of just liking like the brighter. And then this linen, I love it, but it's more like this color. And I think for a Valentine's stitch like this, I think I have several Adas and other Luganas now that are a brighter white, and I've been like, why did I get these? Because when you have things that have white in them, it doesn't show up as well. So this would be a perfect one to, you know, pick one of those. I don't think I'm going to be starting this year though, because I did finish that other Valentine's one, and I just know that I have a lot of whips in progress that I want to just kind of keep with. Have you all seen the Shannon Christine freebies that she provided? Check out her Instagram. These are personal use only. I will just throw that out there. Ooh, don't know what's happening with I had my hair back earlier, so. And I got new glasses over the holiday season, and so I'm seeing the terrible, weird glare that they have. They may actually be going back, because I feel like these glasses have really made my stitching and also working at the computer kind of wonky. So I go back to the eye doctor in January, and I need to figure out, should I not go with multifocal? Do I need more computer glasses? That sort of thing. So it's kind of interrupting several worlds right now. But anyway, this is Shannon Christine Designs, and it's interesting. Look how many colors that has, because, you know, there's a lot of shading in there. But I have my little thread sewing box pulled out. This is now full of threads, and I often still can't find the ones that I need. So I did do a floss inventory. I think it was actually like Christmas night. I sat down once we were home from our Christmas festivities. This is a lot of Classic Colorworks, and also there's some weeks in here. Lovely, lovely threads, flosses. But I heard on somebody's Flosstube about the Floss Keeper app, Floss Tracker app, something like that. It was actually my friend Quinn, who is more of the, she's doing more punch needle right now. She also quilts with us. She's not as big into cross stitch, but she found that app, and I'm so glad she did. So thank you, Quinn. And I have already done inventory of all my flosses. It was so fast and easy, because I thought, wow, I have quite a lot of DMC that's in here. It's not, I didn't track flosses that are in my project bags and kitted up. But it really helped them when I went to the stitching post, because I could quickly go through there and be like, do I have this one? Do I have that one? And it is preloaded with all the brands. So you just can pick the brand, punch in the number. Trying to remember how I did the ones that are primarily names, because like Classic Colorworks, you know, it's just going to have a name on there. But I found it, you know, and it was definitely easy to track. Now they have a project tracker in there, and I am definitely going to sit down and put them in. And for series like Main Street series or the small towns. I think that's Heart and Hand. I want to put them in individually. I'm not going to do like Snow Village, and I am putting them in individually, like Snow Village, Snowflake Stand, so that I have visibility to which ones I've finished and all that sort of thing. And again, a little bit more about that later. Okay, so wow, I am 35 minutes into this already. It is an extravaganza. So let's see. Okay, here is a current whip in progress, and I'm very excited about this, that I started it and have kept with it. I think this was my New Year's start. I think it was New Year's Day. I was a little busy New Year's Eve. So we've got Primrose Cottage stitches. This is Welcome Winter. There's just something that I loved when I saw this. It was just very soothing colors. I like the simplicity. There's no red in there. And of course the picture is delightful. Whoever is helping her and helping them with their design is doing a fabulous job. Here are the colors. However, because I have so much floss, I wanted to use what I had. And so I didn't quite have the same color blue. It's DMC 930. I had something pretty darn close. I checked it out when I was at the stitching store in Maryland to see what the 9 number looked like. And this was just as fine. So this is 311. I pulled 3031 as the brown, and I think that's different. Yeah, that's a different color than what is called for. I have some unnumbered green. This is from Flea Market Flowers. I dekitted that, actually. I wasn't really feeling it after I saw some of the finished ones because the colors were looking different than the actual pattern, and I just wasn't into it anymore. Erin Go, what does that say? Oh, Erin Go Emerald. These colors are really, really lovely. And I used this Juniper, Love Juniper by Weeks as, yes, isn't that lovely? It does get reattached to the card, but right now I have everything just folded together. And this is what it's looking like. I have my green floss there that I started on that tree so I wouldn't forget which one I was using. So I'm loving that I can just do a blend of the greens. You know, that's what's happening in nature. So the pattern is more like very symmetrical with the greens, but I think my trees are going to be a little bit all different because I'm not using DMCs, I'm using overdyes anyway. Now, what I did not notice until I started working on this is all that snow on the bottom. So we'll see how many rows of that I stick with. And this is a linen that was in the even weave bin at the store. But when I brought it home, I'm like, this is not a Lugana, but it is pretty even. And I love the texture to it, that it's, you know, sort of tweedy, I guess, looking. That's pretty much what it looks like. So very linen looking. So I do love that. this would be a definite finish this month. FFO, not sure. We'll see how that goes. I do have a sewing night planned for a few hours early in February, so I should be able to at least get things sewn together. I'm pretty much planning on this being a little pillow. So here is my latest project bag. I made this last weekend. I was off between Christmas and New Year, so I had time to really dig through some of my fabrics, pressed some fabrics to have them get them ready to cut and ready to sew as project bags. Spent hours pressing and things like that, and before you know it, time goes by, so I really only got this one done. And then I actually messed up something down here, so I actually hand appliqued this piece. It's sort of like a faux suede that I had used for table runners a long time ago for the last house when I first was moving. No, 2 houses ago. So I actually appliqued that on there to cover things up. But aren't they so cute? My grandmother gave me this plastic set of deer that this little deer really reminds me of them. It's from one of their travels to New England. Okay, so enough of the bag. What's in the bag? So, what's in the bag is, this is my official case for the Mill Hill Christmas Village series. Okay, and it's all Stitch Beads' fault. Miss Audrey, she showed her Christmas Village Mill Hills, and she has a lot that are finished, hanging in frames, if I remember. I have to go back and watch that because it's just so nice. And I was like, I didn't realize there were so many of them. I have maybe 1 or 2, but I had seen this cobbler, and I think my friend Jill mentioned that she had it, so I had to find some of these, and I actually did start the cobbler. Let's see here if this is it. Yes, it is. I am also putting this on a fabric flare. This is, I will be doing these all on 14 count Aida. I don't like using the paper because, again, that's a totally in and out of that paper, whereas I can stitch in hand. Oh, that's a start of a Nutcracker house that won't be happening. I decided to abandon that series. I'm not really a big Nutcracker fan, like the actual ballet. So anyway, this is the cobbler house. So I'm very thrilled that I did get a really solid start on this. This was probably around Christmas weekend that I really worked on this a lot. Just loved it, and I do love this fabric for this sort of thing. Like I said, it's just very smooth sailing. So this is fabric flare, and it is white dots on cafe au lait, and I found this at Fat Quarter Shop at least 2 years ago. So I continue to lose major track of time. Was it 3 years ago? Was that 3 winters ago? It may very well be, which blows my mind. When I placed a big order with Fat Quarter Shop and discovered that they had a big Black Friday sale. That was the first year I was aware of that because of stitching and stuff, and took advantage of that. So in terms of whips and plans, I won't stitch on Christmas now anymore, and I'm really not a Christmas in July person either. This could be a potential. It's a schoolhouse, it's blue, you know, but I probably won't. If anything, during this month, I would prep these. what I find now with Mill Hills, now that I have started one, well, I have another one in progress too. This is very intimidating to me because they do a lot of shading, and there could be different shades of reds in here and different shades of yellows, and you can't as easily just whip one open and be like, oh yeah, let me start on a section. So I did purchase some of these cards when I was at the stitch shop last week, and one evening when I really wasn't into stitching, it was too late into the evening after getting home, I was able to do this task instead. And you can see here how there's different levels of reds and what they call rust versus red versus orange and light orange. So I just spent time laying these out and getting them sorted. Now, do you see any numbers labeling them? No. So I probably should go back and spend a little bit more time on that, but I can see myself like not really stitching on these, but getting them prepped so that when I open this bag again and I am ready to stitch on Christmas, I can just really get going, because I know what will happen. I will get super excited and want to just, you know, start stitching. So this is this bag. This vinyl I'm not loving. I purchased this from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I think it was something that they were trying and decided to not continue with. I can't even find out what they really were marketing it for. It's very stiff, so in this type of usage, usually when people make vinyl bags, you don't turn the bag. You lay your layers together and you just sew around the edge, and then you do a binding on top of it, so there's not a turning. But when I tried to turn this, because of how I made this bag, because then I don't have to do the binding, I couldn't push that out. I could tell it was either going to poke a hole in it, or it was making these, you know how when you bend certain types of plastics, it creates that white line that will never go away, and that's what was starting to happen. So that's why it's sort of the project bag of despair, but it does have these cute. I really made sure that that mouse was on there and not cut in some weird way. So all very cute. All right, so we're gonna keep moving. All right, so more on the winter plans. Okay, I'm going to keep going with any further whips I want to talk about. Okay, I'm not going to bring out Christmas anymore. There is some Christmas in here, but feel like I need to cough. Starts that are planned. I think this weekend I'm going to try to kit up this little guy. Purchased him at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat in Philadelphia. It is called Stylin Snowman. I think this might have come out during the summer market. I don't think it was like an exclusive or anything. This was just in their pop-up shop. And as shown, this finishes out to 71 by 68. If it's done on 30 count linen, it is under 5 by 5 inches. It's 4.25 by 4.75 inches. So it was stitched 2/2 on 30 count linen, and like when we first saw this, my friend Kathleen of Snickerdoodle Stitch Flosstube, she bought it too, and we thought, oh my gosh, like that's a lot of stitching. Like I think we both thought it was going to be something really big. So he's very, very cute. So I'm all ready for that. This was definitely like a unicorn, turning into a unicorn situation for me, because this came out a few years ago. Oh, it did come out in 2020, and I sort of missed it when it came out. I later saw this chart in one of the Lancaster shops. Didn't get it at the time, and then I couldn't find it. I found the spoon. I bought the spoon separately down at Salty Yarns in Ocean City, Maryland. But now I have the chart, and I am a big coffee lover. I'm drinking my Dunkin' Donuts again, which is causing this dryness. So I'm definitely kitting this up and getting started. Now, I'm not a huge lover of people standing on gigantic mugs or things like life-size people being tucked into mugs. Like, I understand like the prim, I guess, style of things. So I'm not quite sure. Of course, the whole message is what I like about it, the, you know, but first coffee and everything. So I have to think about that. Will I stitch it exactly like this? Would I put the mug maybe bigger over on the side, you know, and do something like that? I'm not even sure exactly how I would want to finish it. Do I want to do yet another pillow? So more to come on that one. This one I loved. This is all because of Carol Saltbuck Stitcher showing this on her Flosstube. I think around Thanksgiving she might have shown this. This is Stacy Nash Snowed In Pinkeep and Ornaments. I will take it out because there's this glare. Now, I am thinking again of doing one of my color conversions. So for that snow, I am sort of perceiving I might be doing something more with a blue color. What I'm hesitating about is that there are those berries on there, but they could easily be blue, purple. In fact, now it's not snowing as much. I was going to show the snow out there. There is a bush right outside my window here that has more of a burgundy berry. It's not solid red, so we'll see what I do with that. I do love the house in the red, and this is more of a Christmassy scene, so I will probably save that for Christmas. But definitely will do that. This is so funny. Somebody's coming, walking their dog, and I'm like, you know, holding things up, so. All right, so that's all of that. Okay. The other thing that is happening this time of year, I returned back to my project bag. This is one of my favorite ones that I did do. Didn't quite come out exactly the way I wanted it. I wanted this zipper more here, but I forgot a step, and I think I was chatting too much at a retreat when I made this, but I do love it. I do love how it turned out, and I love the fabric on the inside. One of the things I really love about it is that I found this fabric. It's a Kutztown address. I went to Kutztown University, and that is about 40 minutes from where I live. But this is Milk Caps fabric, and I forget who designed this, but it was out on the front porch of this cute little, it's a Mennonite fabric shop, and majorly marked down, and they had a lot of it. So I know I have more of it upstairs, but anyway, this I reserve for my Pennsylvania Dutch oriented stitching. I have Pennsylvania Dutch heritage, and my mom and I have been taking Pennsylvania Dutch classes the last 2 years. We say basic things like Schnee is over Schnee, which is snow is ever pretty, or Der Boe is hungrig, the boy is hungry, meaning my cat, or die Katze is hungrig. So those are the primary things that we say in our house because that's what we know. But anyway, it's been fun, and what it does is it takes us into our genealogy track and local history track, and those are interests of ours. But I will show you some cross-stitch charts that I did acquire over the break. Various things were marked down on Etsy, so you got to go get them. So this is from Owl's Stitching House. This is called Fractor Birds number 3. She has a few different Fractor cross-stitch charts. Fractor is a type of toll painting art that was done by the Pennsylvania Dutch to decorate primarily marriage certificates and baptismal announcements. So I was also gifted over the break. Oh, I thought I had a different one here, but it's the same one. I was also gifted a family Fractor painting. It's a baptismal certificate. It's actually of the brother of the descendant that I'm related to, but the brother's parents are who I'm related to, and their names are on the Fractor. So I'm intending definitely this month or early February to do a special Flosstube that is solely focused on some Pennsylvania Dutch motifs and some of my plans around a motif that was specific to this area, and it is a large vase with 7 flowers in it, 7 sort of daisy looking flowers. That motif was done a lot in different samplers, but they always had different other numbers in them or slightly different styles. So I'll be talking about that, and also the sampler that I am working on that is from a stitcher who her mother lived on a farm in Ole, where I grew up, and near my descendants' farms. So I have a real interest in stitching that one, and also her instructor was a well-known descendant of the Daniel Boone family. So I will be talking about that. This is also a WIP in progress. So this is a distal fink, a real classic common Pennsylvania Dutch icon. And I learned in class that a distal fink is really equates to a goldfinch. So when the Pennsylvania Dutch came here from Germany, I don't think they had goldfinches. I know they didn't have turkeys, and they had to create a special name for a turkey. Was essentially called an odd chicken, or a strange chicken was how it translated, because to them it was like they knew it was poultry of some kind. But anyway, I don't think that they had goldfinches, and so notice the color of this is gold. So anyway, I will be doing a little bit more of a special Flosstube about that. This is the start I have on that goldfinch, because I picked like the easiest block of solid stitching that I could just get a decent start. Have to now figure out which way to turn it and what area I worked on, but that's all fine. That's how I roll. Okay, so plans. This is my big announcement section of my Flosstube. I'm trying to get to my planner calendar. Oh, I did want to show too that for that bag. Okay, here we go. For this bag, I'm excited that I'm going to be adding this bling. I think I might put it on the outside, although it could be a floss bling thing. Now this was meant to be an ornament. I'm a member of the Berks History Center in Reading, and that's where I'm taking my classes. Someone is making these as ornaments. They have a gift shop there, and they are looking for local artisans to sell things there. So I am thinking of a few things that I would like to see if they would sell there. But this is a perfect item, and I had no idea that these were so big. I mean, this is my horrible hands, but so it's pretty hefty. And then it has this like cute little bell too. My mother gave me that for Christmas, and she also found this for free, so I'll be able to put this on the bag too. I think that's what I'll do with it. So the city of Reading was actually very important. In fact, we're just listening to a historical thing when there was, in 1777, it's something about George Washington sort of had a retreat out of the Philly area, and so the Schuylkill River was a main way of quickly getting around. So Reading is up the river from Philadelphia, and they were talking about that Reading served as a real critical like backup city to Philadelphia, because Philadelphia at that time was the colonial capital. Well, and I guess it was the capital of the Continental Army. So Reading was a place where they were storing extra munitions and things like that. So just all that to say that we definitely celebrate the anniversaries of the city, the county, different things. It did play a very important part in colonial times. So this pin is 100 years old. They found, what does this say? So there was a 175th anniversary of the city of Reading in 1923. And to celebrate that, they made these coins. I wonder, they're saying a coin, but this is a pin to me. But it says 170th or 75th, so this must be what they're talking about. But anyway, now we're at 2023, 2024, and this is 100 years old. So I'm going to delicately, I think, put it on my bag, because we are going to be last year, 2023, Reading celebrated its 275th. Of course, the nation will be celebrating its 250th in 2026. So I'm really liking that we're in this decade of a lot of different centennial celebrations, or more than that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my plans. So my big announcement is that in a few months, I will be having my double nickel celebration. I do need to look at it as a celebration. There are many people that, unfortunately don't as each year passes, they don't make their, big milestone birthdays. So I have enjoyed seeing how other stitchers celebrate their milestone birthdays. And so I want to do something big. Now, there is the method of, I think it was last year, made by Michelle McGraw. Michelle did 50 ornaments. That's not going to be me. I won't be able to really do that. Now, she did a great job. She had accomplished that goal. They're not all fully finished, I think, but she definitely, did accomplish that goal. And how great to have all those ornaments that she can give to her family and have on the tree. I still only have like 1 or 2 actually finished ornaments that I can put on my Christmas tree. Then you have the idea of like, do you do 50 starts in 1 year? Well, no. No. I did the 12 and 12 maybe about 2 years ago and couldn't even keep up with the pace, but whatever. So I think where I'm landing is that I'm going to touch 55 projects this year in one way or another. So I have several whips. I am a small chart stitcher. I really live in that space. I love that. I love to be able to accomplish something and move on to something else. I'm not very good at the monogamous stitching and large charts. I do have some large charts that I want to start, and I have some in progress. And I know for myself, if I don't keep up momentum on them, they'll get forgotten, that sort of thing. So I'm still formulating what that looks like. I do have the Book of Days, and I think that will be a guide. And like I was talking about, that app, I will be able to track my projects in there. So maybe what I need to do is, because I know that I have more than 55 charts that I want to do, I think what my 55 is going to equate to is that, like I said, working on them in some way. Either they are whips, either they will be starts. And I think I need to do some sort of finish goal as part of that, that maybe, are 5 finished, not fully finished, but finished. Or I thought, well, 5 plus 5 equals 10. So do I make sure that 10 are finished? If you want to go even a notch higher, it's 2024. Do I do like Pam of just keep stitching and make sure that 24 are finished? So I do have some ornaments that I had started, the 12 Days of Christmas, the Tiny Modernist 12 Days of Christmas, and those charts are pretty small, and I have some of those in progress. So could I get to 24 things that are finished? These are the things I will be thinking about in the next week or two to really get my mojo going on those plans. So more to come on all of that. The other thing that is happening related to the Pennsylvania Dutch stuff is that I signed up for Ancestry. This is my tip on Ancestry. I'm sure a lot of people buy Ancestry as gifts for people to give at Christmas time. If you wait until after the holiday, of course, after New Year's, that's when I saw the sale. And you're seeing the commercials right now that there were deals to be had for the membership. So what I did was a 6-month membership, and I did a family plan where you can invite 3 other people to be part of that together. So at least for my mom and myself right now, we are on it together, and then 2 of our cousins that we will actually go to brunch and talk our genealogy stuff. One is having to move, so we're actually helping him a little bit pack, and he just is moving from one floor down to another apartment, but he has to pack all of this glass that he has, and plates, and he's an antique collector. And we helped him one day, and just for kind of like a credenza case of glasses, it took so many boxes of just that, because you're trying to protect it. So I know that he's going to be, I think as he moves along, he's going to be putting a lot more to the side that he is getting to auction. So I hope that that continues to happen. But anyway, what I plan to do with the Ancestry membership, especially heavy duty the next few weeks, is looking deeply more into, again, the samplers that I know that were done in this area and the people that worked on them, and see where are the crossovers possibly into my descendants, and things like my grandfather worked in the textile mills of the Reading area, and they really started in the late 1800s. So what crossovers might there be with people that he might have worked with? Or, I mean, that's maybe a bad example, but anyway, just trying to have a better picture. I also had started plotting where these people lived. So somebody who made a sampler, like the sampler that I'm working on, where did they live? Because it's all very local. So I think it would be kind of cool to see a pattern of where did they live and the years that they would have made that sampler compared to my descendants and where they lived. And just that idea of like, would they possibly have been interacting, that sort of thing. It could be a full-time job, but you know, we'll see how that goes. But so that's how I'm going to use the Ancestry, and I intend to have it for the 6 months, and then I'll get rid of it because it'll be summertime and I won't be into that as much. So those are my plans, and then quickly I will show you some haul as everything falls down now. All right, so like I said, I was at the Stitching Post in Maryland. Now the address here says Baltimore. I think it's called Cantonville. It's a small town, and you can tell that they're trying to do a little bit with some renovating of the town or whatever, revitalization. There's some cute like coffee shops. There's of course your tattoo parlors and whatever, but it's a cute little town that it's part of. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found this. At StitchCon last June, I was at Weekend B, and a woman had brought her FFO of this. It is so adorable, the biggest discount, because then the next day it was December 30th, and they were doing their inventory. I thought, I'm going to treat myself and splurge on some Mill Hill frames. So I have this gray one and this nice white one, and that way I can interchange some things. I'm trying to remember what the sale was. I think it was 20% off everything, but they do have a section of clearance that particular day, all the charts or things that were in that section were 60% off. So I found this in that section. I am totally a lover of the strawberry type charts. This has everything in it that I love. Got a cute house, some strawberries, cute girl with her little basket, and the bee skep hive thing. That's all my sort of thing. And I love that it's in a circular format. So just a little bit different. So I got that 60% off. So it was a day for me to splurge on overdyed floss. So my haul is really a lot of floss. This is fragrant cloves. And so many of these are for the starts that I intend to start in like this month. So so the Snowman, Teresa Kogut Snowman. This is Liberty Red. The But First Coffee. This is Wood Trail. Lancaster Red. I am really becoming a fan of the Gentle Art sampler threads or Gentle Art threads. I do really like these as over-dyed threads. They're so silky and smooth. And I forgot that these are marked color fast by industry standards as their disclaimer. I'm looking to see, so I still am learning with the Gentle Art threads. Some are marked sampler threads and some are marked simply shaker. None of them say anything about that they are 100% cotton, but that's my idea, is that they're cotton, they're not silk or anything. So I'm just curious if that was just a brand difference or what is different about Simply Shaker versus sampler. Espresso bean. Oh, it's kind of disappointing. I think I'm hearing rain already, so we knew that there would be snow, but it would be changing to rain, or like it's a freezing mix now. I was going to show you the snow. We'll see if I do that right at the end. We are right on the line of where there was supposed to be major, you know, more of like 5 inches. We really didn't get too much if it's already changing to rain. This is Blue Coat Red. Showed that one. Pecan Pie. Here's a Straw Bonnet. And this Grecian Gold I did pick up down there because I have the Butternut Road chart. I think that's what it is. Of the fall house that calls for Grecian Gold. And then this is Endive. Okay. And then I think finally some of the other haul that I picked up in some of the sales that were happening online. I saw this done at the Stitch New England retreat. It is the winter market, Christmas market by Twin Peak Primitives. I'm a sucker for a Christmas market. I would love to see the ones in Germany sometime. What I'm a little perplexed about is the ones without, I guess they're just, okay, this picture's a little bit better. I guess they're just showing the sides of the little houses. There you have one that it's from the front. He's picking out something, but then these must be sort of showing them from the side and the shutters are closed. I was a little confused about that. And just just love that aqua. This is the Twin Peak Santa 2020. He's going to be pretty big, but I do love that with the birds. And I might have shown this one before. This is the one from 2023. I'm not sure if I will keep all that gold, but I don't know what else I would do with it. I'm not crazy about the owl. I like the cat. So I think the owl would not get done. Not even sure about the goose. But I do like that. All right, so I think that is the end of this very long floss tube. I think this is my longest one. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. Please like this channel if you like what you've seen here. And I did reach my 1-year Flosstube anniversary last month, so it's been a whole year of good times, and it's been a lot of fun doing Flosstube. You know, it really has helped propel me to keep going and get more finishes, I think. And some of the chats that come through are just really fun. I had someone in touch, you're probably watching, who really loved my carolers that I was showing, the buyer's carolers. I did purchase a few more late in the season that I found. They were definitely vintage, made longer ago. So they are all put away, but it's been great to hear, you know, that people have liked seeing those. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Keep stitching, happy winter, and stitching all the things. Bye. Oh, alas, it's not snowing anymore, but trying to just show you a little bit of our wintry scene, our real wintry scene here in this 55 plus active community. And 2024 means I will be officially able to really live here. I guess it means that I can actually, you know, help vote at meetings and things, but I'm not too eager about getting involved in that. But it also supports my stitchy goals, like I talked about. 55, touching and stitching on 55 things in 2024. More to come on that plan. All right, thanks for watching. Happy stitching, everybody.